There we are again. Oh, yes. Oh, hello. Sean the harp. Over there in his bag. There's tea in my flask. There's sweets and a toothbrush. My tarpaulin. Oh, oh yes. We're outside. Hear the birds. There we are. That is Sean the harp. I am Anya Bucker, and together we are the Flapping Harper. It is day 21 of From Here to Jerusalem, and we have left Cork. Yesterday we left Cork. The sun is about to set, and I didn't walk very far today. Where did I end? Day 19. Day 19. That's it. Day 19 in we were in Fermoy. I woke up in Fermoy and spent the day with Edna and Donald in St. James's Place in Fermoy, the best place for any pilgrim. Now, From Here to Jerusalem is going to take us anywhere from 365 days to maybe 700. We don't really know. It took us 20 days to get out of Cork. We started in Clonakilty and then we headed west, not east. You'd think we'd head east, but we headed west. We headed to one of the favorite pubs of many of my friends, Todd's Pub in Ballygurteen, where we were welcomed and looked after. And then we went to Dunmanway and we went to visit Gertine and Tommy O'Leary, who also looked after us and gave us lunch and beds and showers. And then we went on to Drimoleek, where we were in the Pot Park, in the walking centre, at the start of the St. Finbarr's Way. And again, we were looked after, and there were showers, hot showers, and a little private pot for us to stay in, and an open fire in the evening in company, and there were scones in the morning. And the day after, we went on to Castle Donovan, where we were welcomed by my friend Trace Irwin. And she also had more lunch and and food and a bed. And I ended up sleeping in the wrong bed. And presents and love. And then we went on to Kilkill, where we were welcomed in Future Forest. And again, we were looked after and given tea and coffee and a caravan to sleep in. And then we went on, where did we go from Kilkill? Oh yeah, we went to Gugambara, where we were given a hotel room by Eva Maria, my friend in Berlin. And then the room was upgraded by the hotel itself. And we were welcomed there, and we played for the first time in the chapel in Gugambara. And we were given dinner by one of the ladies of the retreat, and we were given breakfast, and we were given lunch to take on our way. And then we went on to Ballingeary, and we were welcomed by Mary and Colin and given food and beds and showers and pints, and we were shown the hospitality of Angeltacht. And then we went on to Ballyvourney, and were joined by harp player Mairead Kelly. And I was given a bed by Mary Mukahi Fowl. She organized a bed for me in the hotel there. And then she came and joined me the next day and walked up the hill with me and tried to give me more stuff. And then the next night from Ballyvourney, I went to Mill Street, and there I took my first day off. And um, I was made very welcome there as well. And I had a very interesting chat with somebody in the pub there. And I took a day off, which was really hard because I'd never taken a day off during a pilgrimage. And then we went on and we had our adventure at Mushroom Mountain, and we went all the way to Bing, where we were welcomed in the sacristy by Sean Kelly. And the next morning, we were met by his wife Mary, and she gave us lunch and breakfast and teas and coffees, and we played a little bit of music, and then we went on to from Bing we went to Mallow, and in Mallow, I had an experience in the church, and I took rest on my own. I found refuge on my own, and then we went on to from Mallow. Where did we go from Mallow? Mallow. We went on to Killavullen, and by then it was Good Friday, and I was kind of shook by the experience on Mushroom Mountain, and we were welcomed by the Presentation Sisters at the birthplace of Nanonego's birthplace, where we regained our balance and we were shown so much love and we were taken care of. And I even got to drink a pint with one of the sisters, Sister Sheila, and I got to talk music, and we got to rebalance, and we played, and we were welcomed in the community there, and it was so heartwarming. And from there we went on to Fermoy, where we were welcomed by Lisa and Phil, who, there was a dinner ready by the time I arrived there. I have not eaten as much as I have in the past 3 weeks. And then the next day we went back to, because Lisa and Phil don't live in Fermoy anymore. They live in Kilworth, and they brought us back to Fermoy, where I stayed, where I was welcomed by Donald and Edna, and I met the kitty cat, who used to be a kitten in our house and then went to live with them. And we stayed with them, and we were given more food and more love, and a little camera set up, and new glasses. And I got to send home um, some of the stuff that I had been carrying around. I did the same in Mallow. I sent some stuff home. And then we walked back to Kilworth, and I was introduced through Mairead Kelly to Petra, who shares my second name, Petra Bucker, who's a flower grower in Kilworth. And Lisa and Phil helped me again with my shoes, and unfortunately, the shoe issue, it's still an issue. And we met the little boys, and I had a sauna, and I swam out in a rainwater pool and met her husband Cahill, and we were looked after and loved, and woke up in the attic with flowers next to our bed, and actually in Fermoy the same thing. So yeah, day 20, day 19. I kept saying it was day 20, but it was actually day 19, was in Fermoy. And so Donald recorded some of my playing in the garden. They have the most stunning garden, and Sean the harp was showing off, and he did a bit of a photo shoot there. They were houses that were originally built for the officers, and there's like their well is still the water that they use, and it is just so nice. And Sean the harp was right at home there with all the all the flowers and the plants, and we spotted bees working, and it was just so nice to be there. It was so nice to see them again. And then Lisa and Phil came, and we walked back to Kilworth together. We tried to solve the issue with the shoes, and then I did something very bold. I allowed Lisa to bring me to the 500 meters up the road to Petra's house. And there I was welcomed and I was told that, if I wanted to, there would be a sauna later on with a few other women, and we spent the evening drinking water and being really warm and swimming outside, and it was just amazing. And in the morning, out in the courtyard in the back, I played and I met Kieran and Eddie, who were working there putting roofs on the sheds. And I had met Kieran before in Vermoy several years ago, and I hung out with the boys, and then I went on, and I don't know, like it was just so nice to be in those family dynamics. It was so nice to meet Petra. Like I have a thing, I think I have a thing on this trip where I am going to be working on some of my prejudices. So one of my prejudices is people like me, Dutch people living abroad. And Petra is the first Dutch person I actually, without hesitation, went to visit. Like with Lisa and Phil, it was like this is the thing. With Lisa and Phil, I went to visit them 12 years ago on my way to Santiago. I think it was on the third or the fourth day of walking that I went to stay with them, and I stayed for 2 nights. And I had no idea what I was doing. And this was the first time after that visit that I actually went to stay with them. And it was like right after Easter. And it was so good to be there. And it felt so familiar. It actually really felt like I just had come home again there. And then I went into this completely new, and with Donald and Edna, like I had done the historical society things in Fermoy in 2014 and 2016. So that was really special to be back there. And it was very appropriate because they live on St. James's Place. And then Petra was completely new. So within like these two places, I ended up having like the experience of meeting people again after the 12 years. And I had an experience with people who I had who I knew there from other things, and then I met somebody who was completely new. So it was really special. It was really special. Now I'd kind of said that I wouldn't. That was day 19, and then so the morning of day 20, I woke up to Tulips, and she showed me around, and I played some music, and she made me lunch, and it was time for me to go, and I started to set off, and I'd said I would not walk any more culture, no more forestry for me. Like I really was kind of shook by what I had seen on Mushroom Mountain and between being in Mill Street, and I didn't want to have that experience again. But then they were saying like, yeah, no, it's not that bad there. So I thought between barrack, what is it, military barrack or barrack, Barrack Hill, Barrack Hill, Barrack. And it would be just before Ballyporeen. I was on my way to Ballyporeen, and I thought, okay, I'll take the Blackwater Way, but everything was fine. Like there is a little parking place. It's a park. It's really lovely. Oh, here come the kids again. And it was they climbed through the hedge here. They all have little lights, and they go through the hedge to the other side. So I was walking through the forestry, and it all was fine. And there's people walking with their dogs, and there's kids, and there's lots of other things. And I walked on, and then you go into the military area, and it was okay. And then again, I was feeling again like the numb toes and pain at the top of my, and it's just the left foot, top of the pain of the top of my toes, and I was sitting there and I thought, okay, let's go on, and it was only 15 or 16 kilometers, and then halfway through, there was again like it looked like so horrible, like ripped up, like completely ripped up. The trees ripped up, and like sometimes they saw them up, but sometimes they just rip them up, so they're all broken, and it really looks like a slaughterhouse. It's very, very. It really looks like you're not welcome there. Like it warns you not to sit on stacks. Like, of course, safety and stuff. But I wasn't happy. I was really happy to be out of it. And then I came to military barrack. It's not right. I'm saying that wrong again. Barrack, military hill, barrack hill. It's still another 10 kilometers to Ballyporeen. And I was there and I, I just thought, no, I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again. And I took a break and I said, because you could do like an extra few kilometers and you go through the forestry, and I'm thinking, I don't want to walk forestry here anymore. It's getting dark soon, so I'm going to get on with my story. Um, so there we are, and I decided to take the road that I had taken 12 years ago to Ballyporeen when I didn't know anything about doing pilgrimages, and I walked. You walk you walk up a hill, and then you go down, and then you go through a bend, and then you go around the bend, and then suddenly it opens up in front of you, and you see the Galties for the first time. And I remember how breathtaking it was, but I'd forgotten how breathtaking it was. It was just beautiful. I was so lucky. It was bright, there was a little bit of haze there, and they're just there. They're this massive, big, plump, like, oh, just, I stood there and I'm going, oh, on the road. And then they just are on your left hand side, and you walk towards the V. Now, and then I walked into Tipperary. 20 days I walked in Cork. And yes, I've been doing short distances, and I've had all these experiences to be very, very grateful for. Like, I've met all these amazing people who've all looked after me, and it was just wonderful. And I'm so grateful for it. But now, do you know what? Now I need to go and actually get get my head down. And I realized it, and I hobbled into Ballyporeen, and I remembered that when you see the sign Ballyporeen and suddenly there is a sidewalk, and 12 years ago, when you come to the bend, which goes really into the village, there is a pump across the road, and there was a car there 12 years ago, and there was Chopin was blaring out of it, and out came this man, and he says, "Oh my God, are you a musician? What's in your backpack?" And I said, "It's a harp." And he said, "Oh my God, I'm a musician. I live right there. I'm gonna call my wife now. And you look there, the gate. You go over there, and she will make you a cup of tea. We have to record some music." And so I had let them know they're the Hennessy's, the Hennessy family. And I let them know that I was coming, and they said, "You have to come again." So I kind of remembered where it was. And I knocked on the door, and there they were, Seamus, Sham, and Geraldine, Ger, Hennessy, and their three children. And now the kids, they're all grown up. Like, one is Sarah's age, and then the youngest one is 19, and the middle one is, I believe, 21. And they're like these wonderful, wonderful young humans. And they were all there. And there was a hot bath waiting for me, and there was dinner, and there was chat, and it was like I had come home again. And we went over the story how we had met, and there were friends there of the youngsters, and they came to say hello, and the sister came by. It was just that, like, how special is that? Like, you walk in after 12 years, and I had the same thing with Lisa and Phil. Like, you walk in, and it's like we just kept going where we left off. It was wonderful. And I was going to sleep in the studio, and and at midnight we went into the studio and we recorded for an hour and a half. So we got 3 tracks done. Now it wasn't. So I was really tired, and she'd made me a really hot bath, and I was still sweating, and then I just went to bed and slept like a log. She gave me like a weight down blanket, and it was like it was pressing down on me, and it felt so good. And I fell asleep, and I woke up. Now, the thing that wasn't so cute was that there was blood everywhere when I woke up. Like, I don't know, like, oh, I haven't had a period in a very long time, and suddenly there it was, like, it was like I was bleeding from everywhere. And I just hung around and got myself washed up again and hung around, had breakfast, and then the daughter, she was doing her driver's license test today, and I hung around to find out how she got on. Oh, and we were chatting away and chatting away and chatting away, so I left quite late, and I was thinking of maybe going as far as no, not Kilfillan. Oh, I can't remember now. I was going to go a bit further, but then I remembered that in Parsons, there's Parsons Green in Clogheen. So that's where I went, which is President Ronald Reagan country, which I remembered as well because I walked the same way. And this is the really weird thing. Like, I was convinced that this time I was going to walk a different route, and now I'm not so sure. Um, so I have finally left County Cork. And now suddenly I'm feeling like I just really want to get on with it. I want to get off the island. I need to sort out my feet. So the closest by biggest town is Clonmel. So I'm heading for Clonmel. I can't do it in one day because it's 29 kilometers. And with the way the feet are, the most I can do is just over 20. So I'm going to do it in 2 days. Kilfinnan, is it? Kilfinnan is where I'm heading tomorrow, and hopefully a bit beyond. But I have no idea where to stay. So now we did a recording in Parsons Green 12 years ago. Uh, Seamus filmed. We had recorded something. I'll find the video and I'll actually put it up as well in this playlist. And yeah, here I am. Decided to stay in Parsons Green, and I put up my hammock without cutting on my hands. And they gave me 2 trees. I needed a bit of extra rope. They're a little bit too far from each other, but I got it all up. I lined it up okay, but it's not entirely over. I'll wake up with my head seeing the sun come up, I think. And so I am in Ronald Reagan country, getting ready to go to bed. It's getting dark now, and yeah, I'm really excited. Like, I just feel so grateful. Thank you so much to everybody in Cork for helping me say goodbye and get ready for this journey. 2 more days and I'll have my feet sorted out as well. Hopefully I'll find a pair of shoes. I know for sure now that it's not my feet. I think I didn't want to talk about it because I've heard stories of people having issues with their feet, and then the feet turn out to be the actual issue. And I was really afraid that maybe I had overdone it after all and that I'd done something wrong. But then Geraldine was saying yesterday that sometimes these real hiking boots, they're pre-shaped, and she described the symptoms that she had, and they're exactly the ones that I had. But I had read that that could mean that it was something in the bones of my feet And she was saying, no, 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 it's very, very likely the pre-shaping of the shoes inside. And it's okay if you're hiking in fields. But like the truth is, of course, I have the 20 kilos on my back. Now, I sent home, in Mallow, I sent home a few things that really I wasn't going to use for anything, and some ornaments and stuff. And then in Fermoy, I sent back, I had solar panels on me, and I realized that I'm not going to use them for now, simply because there is electricity everywhere I go, so I don't really need to have the electricity on me. And also, I think the 1.2 kilos or 3 kilos, 1.3 that it weighed, um, did not warrant me carrying it, and it's better to be a bit lighter right now because the bog story. Just look back at Mushroom Mountain. I think that was a day. What is it? 14 or 15. It was bad. No, it was before that, day 12 or 13. That was pretty pretty rough going. Now I can't see myself anymore, so I'm going to give up for today. Uh, this was day 21. Day 21. I am in Tipperary. Tipperary. So on one side is the Galtee Mountains, on the other side you can see back towards Cork. And tomorrow I'm heading for Kilfinnan, and then Clonmel. Uh, I'm I have to decide, do I go towards Mount Melleray, or do I do the route that I did 12 years ago? Better stay tuned and find out what the story is going to be tomorrow again. Uh, it's really weird. I'm on a camping. I'm really looking forward to sleeping in the hammock again. I'll be a whole lot more comfortable than I was up on the mountain. Thank you very, very much for being here with me. Thank you very much for all the messages and all the comments and stuff. If you now, people are saying that they're not seeing the updates, but you gotta hit the bell, follow, hit the bell. It helps with the algorithms, and then you get a notification every time I go live. Thank you very much for being here with me, and I'll see you tomorrow after it gets light again. Good night. Good night. Thank you. Thank you from me and Sean the Harp. Day 21 of From Here to Jerusalem. There we go. Another day, another dawn, tomorrow. Good night.